We've heard a little bit here and there in many of these panels and talks about how popular it is to tax the wealthy, but we haven't really heard how popular it actually is. So our next speaker is Igor Volsky. He is the campaign director of Tax the Greedy Billionaires and the founder of Volsky Ventures, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about how popular it actually is to tax the ultra wealthy. So help me welcome Igor.
I'm just going to take it. Good afternoon, everybody. All right, I think the best way to figure out how popular taxing the wealthy is just to ask for a raise of hands. Who here believes we should tax the greedy billionaires and shift power back to the people? Hands up, let's see. Who's not raising their hand? Okay, there you go. Well, part of the reason why it's so critical to tax billionaires is because we are living in a moment of just incredible wealth concentration. It's literally worse than it's ever been. And this wealth is impacting all of us in all kinds of different ways. It's eroding our democracy when 300 billionaires make up 19% of all federal election spending in 2024. You have billionaire-backed private equity sucking all the value out of the housing market, the healthcare market, childcare, and passing on higher costs to working families, degrading quality. And then, of course, you have those like AI boys in hoodies who are just salivating at the prospect of taking all of our jobs, of sucking meaning out of our lives, and of controlling all of the power and trying to shape our future. So things are bad. But the good news is that the American people overwhelmingly understand that billionaires and extreme wealth are contributing to corruption, to higher housing costs, to higher healthcare costs. And so when you ask them, as we did in a poll just a couple of weeks ago, well, what do you think about taxing these billionaires? You get some really extraordinary numbers. 77% want to tax billionaires. That includes 75% of independents and 65% of Republicans. And it also turns out that candidates who prioritize or support taxing billionaires also do a whole lot better as compared to candidates who don't. And the good news is this is the second piece of good news, is that you have states leading the way, introducing tax the rich legislation from California to New York. And of course, we recently saw what that actually looks like in Washington state. So I really have a simple message for all of our future leaders, for folks who are lining up to run in 2028. We are in a new era of challenge, and we really have to be thoughtful about whether the rhetoric, the narratives, the tools we've used in the past are up for the scope of the problem. And I would argue that it's time to move beyond things like paying your fair share, paying a little more, and to really think about the need to use wealth taxes and other tools as the way to reduce the net wealth of billionaires. Because that money, even if you pay a little more, it doesn't just sit there. It distorts economies, housing, healthcare. So to me, the litmus test moving into 2028 is, does your economic policy, does your tax policy reduce the net worth of billionaires, and does it slow the creation of new billionaires?
So folks really have an option. They could stand with billionaires, or they could stand with all of us, 99.9% of Americans. And if lawmakers and candidates and leaders choose the billionaires, then I know all of you in this room and all of us across the country are going to remind voters what those kind of people are really about. Thank you all so much.